Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to 4.3. Today we'll be discussing areas of composite figures. Okay, so please put down your chapter section and learning target at this time now, as well as name and date your notes. We're going to start off today with a little bit of vocabulary. It says a blank is made up of triangles, squares, rectangles, and other two-dimensional figures. Here are two examples. Okay, that would be a composite figure. Okay, that's when you just have a shape, two-dimensional shape that is made up of two or more shapes that you know. So, for example, here we have a triangle and a rectangle, and here we have a square and a trapezoid. Okay, and really, all you need to do to find the areas of these composite figures is separate the composite figures um, into figures with areas that you know how to find, and then find the sum of the areas of those figures. So, in other words, I know that a triangle is base times height divided by 2. I know that a rectangle is length times width. Find the area of the rectangle, find the area of the triangle, and then add them together to find the total area of this house looking shape. Okay? So let's try that for the first example. Now, one of the things I will point out to you is that there are different ways of splitting up some of these shapes. Okay, so there's not always going to be one way. You might not split it the same way I do, and that's okay. If you do it correctly, you'll still get the right answer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my first shape right here, because then it gives me a rectangle on the top and a trapezoid on the bottom. Remember, trapezoid has a pair of parallel sides. This is parallel to this side right here. This top is parallel to this bottom right here. Okay, so let's find the area first of my rectangle. So I've got a length of 1, 2, 3, 4 units, and a height of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. Okay, length times height, or length times width, 6 times 4 would give me 24 units for the area of this rectangle. And if you went through and counted, you'd get 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so on and so forth. You get 24 of those boxes. And then for my trapezoid on bottom, you got to remember that that area formula is a little bit trickier. It's a half times the height times the bases added together. Okay, so if I look at my two bases, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units on the bottom. And on top, well, I already found that up here. It's the same down here as 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 plus 4, that would give me 12. Times my height, well, from one base to the next is 1, 2, it's 2 units tall, times a half. Okay, so I get half of 2 is 1, and 1 times 12 is 12. So the area for my trapezoid is 12. So to find the entire area of the purple figure, I would take my top half, my rectangle, which was 24 units, and add the bottom half, my trapezoid, which was 12, to come up with a total of 36 square units. Okay. Let's try example 2 with the real life example. And this is one of those situations where I was kind of telling you, you could split it in a couple different ways if you wanted to. I'm going to split it in the easiest way that I can find. And I'm going to actually split my fairway on this golf course right here. so that I've got, let me outline it in another color here. I'll do yellow so that I have a rectangle here. Sorry if I can't draw straight lines. And then my other shape would be this triangle right here. Okay. So I may have skipped this, but it says it wants the area of the fairway. So the fairway is this nicely mowed area. If you didn't know that, if you're not into golf, outside of the fairway would be the rough. That's where you definitely don't want to be. Okay, so we're finding the area of the fairway. So this nicely mowed area between these two streams. Okay, so I split my shape into um, into into two easier ones that I know how to find. Okay, so for my rectangle here, I have 40 by 70. Well, length times width, 4 times 7 would give me 28. And then I have a 0 here and a 0 here, so add 2 zeros. That would be 2,800 yards for this yellow area. Okay, and then I need to find the area of that triangle over here. Okay, remember the area formula for a triangle is base times height divided by 2, or base times height times a half. Well, it looks like my base is 40 times my height. Well, it doesn't exactly tell me my height right here. Okay, this 50, remember, we don't need to know the slant height. We need to know the height that creates this 90-degree angle. So I have to find that. Well, what I do know is that this entire length from here to here tells me it's 70. And I also know from here to here that it's 40. So from here to here is 40. And to find my missing length right here, which I don't know, I could just take my total length and subtract this chunk of 40 to find what's missing here. Well, 70 minus 40 would give me 30. Okay, does that make sense? If you took this, which is 30, this distance, and you added it to this distance of 40, you'd get 70, which is the same as we got on this side. Okay, so 40 times 30 divided by 2. Okay, well, 4 times 3 is 12, and there's 2 zeros, so 1,200 divided by 2. Well, 12 divided by 2 would give me 6, and there's still those 2 zeros there, so 600 yards squared for this region. So if I take and add together my triangle and my rectangle, well, 28 plus this 28 plus this 6 would give me 34, and then add my zeros. So 3,400 yards squared, okay, is what I come up with. Now, you could have split that fairway differently. That's just the way I chose to do it. Okay, and that's all the examples that I'm going to go through with you today for this extension section. Remember, the extension sections aren't too long. They're somewhat related to the previous section. So go ahead and look at the practice problems for this. I think it's page 173, and I think there's only like 7 practice problems to try out. So good luck with composite figures. Please let me know if you have any questions.